reforestation, he's not even involved.
Yeah.
Right. So the minute the actual ground is being damaged or raped or not being used for the purpose of reproducing what is actually being distilled, it doesn't happen, full stop. And anyone that thinks anything different, you need to look them in the eye and say, just a minute, that's not right. It's just simply not right. I've been to all the farms except the one in Calgary and Amman. They're the only two I haven't been to. And each farm is totally sustainable. Now, this farm is actually quite unique because they've got 2,800 acres in Kona, which is they call the Big Island. Now, we were flown up there by helicopters. These helicopters, now when I explain this to people, their first thoughts are, we've got a $1,900 an hour helicopter and there are dozens of them, right? Each helicopter is worth $3.5 million and they're transporting 350 diamonds from the most expensive resort you can possibly go to in the Big Island, for 4 seasons, where you're talking about from $1,100 to $3,500 a night. Now, when you say that to people, their first thought is, oh, yeah, is that why the oils are so expensive? And then you've then got to go, wait, that's not quite right, what you're thinking. Because every single diamond there, what do they represent? We actually represent the whole entire world. If it wasn't for the people at that diamond club, none of these talks would be happening. Not one person is going to be healed of anything. Not one person is going to get rid of their childhood issues, whether it's a feelings issue or whether it's a physical issue at age 0 to the age of 150. Now, that's what those diamonds represent. And when that money is being spent on them, that is a gratitude from Gary and Mary. That's their gift. Yeah. You can't knock a gift. We just happen to be the receivers of the gift. And I know every single diamond there in those, that whole entire echelon of people, man, they give, and they just keep giving, and they're sharing. They open their diaries and they're full every single day. And I interviewed them, and to get to where they were going, they're not sitting on their butts. They're not just creaming in this money that Young Living said, thank you. We're grateful for what you've done. That's what that diamond trip is for. It's so Gary and Mary can give back something. When they're giving back stuff all the time, they're actually giving this back to the diamond. So when you go through explaining the cost, the amount of just beautiful way to live when you go to a diamond club. If one person could understand what it means to go to Diamond Club, they would, okay, if Diamond Club meant you've got 1 to 2, or let's say 3, gold bricks in your backyard. Somebody hid them there when you weren't there. Each gold brick could be worth $1 million. You don't know where they are. Somebody's been in your backyard while you're away for a weekend, and they dug up your backyard with a backhoe that goes down 60 feet, and they've hidden these gold bars down there somewhere in your backyard. So now tell me, what are you going to do when you find out someone says there's these 3 gold bars in your backyard, is each worth $1 million a bar? What are you going to do? You're going to go out the backyard, sit on the porch in your rocking chair, grab an apple. Yeah. Hey, Joe. Someone told me there's some gold bars in the backyard. I'd like to get them. I really would like to get them. Really? They're in your backyard? Yeah, they are. Well, aren't you going to get them? Yes, I am. You know, where's the passion there? Where's the excitement? Like, I know the people that actually made it to Diamond that were there. If someone said that to them, they would be in that backyard. By the way, what do those gold bullion represent? What, you get the metaphor here? What are those bits of gold? Anyone have any ideas? They are distributors. They are people. They're people like us. Somebody was digging for those people, sifting through mounds and mounds of dirt, mounds of rocks, mounds of sand, holes, crevices, manure, pipes that burst and you're going to get crap all over their face. They've cut through the telephone line. They cut through the sewer line. Electricity cables almost got electrocuted. But they are digging, they're looking somewhere in that backyard. There's these gold bullions. They're sifting and sifting and sifting. You get what I'm trying to say? That's what they represent, those people that are there. They're only there because they never sat on their porch eating an apple with a rocking chair and telling people they're going to go find those gold bars.
Yeah.
They didn't tell anyone. They just did it. They didn't complain about them being there. They didn't whinge about the person that put them there. They were just out there digging. They just dug and dug and dug, and they never stopped. You could see the shovels going up. You could see dirt coming up the top of the house from the street. You could hear noise in the background. You could hear jackhammers going, jackhammering through the rocks. You getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, so Alan, you're saying we're just like, it's like focusing on a mission and taking action on your mission, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. We got
as this book says.
Yeah.
As this book says.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one chapter in here called Fertile Fields in which new leadership will be required. Fertile fields, that's work. The word fields is work. And consistency. There's a heap of stuff in this book, Think and Grow Rich, all about consistency, being consistent. Yeah. So when I say to people, when we arrived at this Four Seasons hotel, 4 people rushed at us. We're going, what are these guys doing? Well, first off, when we arrived at the airport, they gave us a car. Every single Diamond person was given a car. We arrived at the Four Seasons. We asked people, where's the Four Seasons? Anyone know? And they go, you're what? You're at the Four. Oh man, that's the most high profile place on the island. So okay. So we spoke to quite a lot of people, we didn't know where we were going, and they almost laid out the red carpet when they knew we were going to the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
So this is a very, very high profile resort, and I'll tell you when you be there.
How long did you stay on the farm, like on visiting the farm for? Was it like 3 days or 4 days or?
No, they flew us up. They flew us up in the one day.
Yeah. Up
to the mountains.
Yeah.
I think we're 4,000 or 5,000 feet up.
Okay. Yeah.
But to get there, remember, this was the largest land movement of people by helicopter in the history of Hawaii.
Yeah.
This has never happened before. Young Living has done it. Basically, go on the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
So we get there, and there's a huge marquee tent. Now, this is an expensive operation to actually get us there. Not to mention, to work in the farm and to get what they're getting is an expensive operation as well, because it's miles from anywhere.
Yeah.
So when we get there, the guys that owned it are there.
Yeah.
And we start talking to them, and they started taking us out through the bush because we went out picking seeds. And he said, look, if it wasn't for Gary Young, we wouldn't know any of this, what we're doing now. He said, all we were doing is trying to reforest the mountain. We didn't know about the oil. So they said, our land is raped from the last 50, 60 years. The English brought cattle across, the Americans brought cattle across. Anyone that come across, they bought cattle, they bought sheep, and they bought goats, they bought wild seeds, grasses and stuff, and they planted it. And it just completely ruined a lot of the landscape. And the trees weren't actually regrowing as fast as what they wanted to, because they actually pulled all the trees out to farm for beef and cattle and dairy. Right, so it was they really did start to destroy the mountain. So what they said was that their job was to reforest, and they said Gary Young come along, and he said he changed their whole entire idea of what they're actually there for. And now he says we are working in a beautiful symbiotic relationship with Gary, with the land, and they reckon within the next 10 to 15 years, instead of having millions of trees up there, they're going to have multi-millions of trees up there.
Yeah.
While we are distilling the sandalwood.
Yeah.
Now, here's another interesting fact.
Can I be really rude and just interrupt? I've got people trying to get onto your webinar and they can't get on because it says the link won't work. Rah, is there any way that you can give me permission so my people can get on or not?
Yeah, I'll just email it to you, Von. Okay.
Yeah, because by me sharing your link, it's actually not working.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Yeah, I'll just email it to you. So I'll just send it to you by email. Cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry I had to interrupt, but I was
okay.
trying to find a moment.
Well,
thank you.
Yeah. So Alan. Yeah. Cool.
So what?
Yep.
So what they have to do before they can distill a tree, they have to wait for it to be sick, and before it gets sick, it actually the surrounding trees. I've forgotten the name of the trees. It starts with M. Mondra, or anyway, I think it'll come back to me later. But the trees around them sacrifice their lives for the sandalwood. So the sandalwood takes the life of the surrounding trees as it's maturing. And then that's part of the cycle.
So
now,
Alan, there's trees in our rainforests up here and up the back that do the same. The tobacco trees will be like the understory, and then the rest of the forest grows through and takes the life of the understory.
It's an amazing symbiotic relationship again.
Yeah.
And what happens then between now or the maturity of the tree, or even not even the maturity of the tree, and the next 25 years, some of those trees start to die and get diseases. Now, you see the diseases, and I'll be making a video shortly of the diamond trip, and a lot of this information will be in there. And you'll see the pictures that I'll post of the trees and the sickness that actually happens to them. So when that happens, they pull the tree out by the roots, and in pulling it out by the roots, it's like you know how you think of a melanoma. Just say you got a melanoma, and you pull the melanoma out. What's left?
Well, they can't see me.
Yeah, the tentacles that go out through everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's what happens when they pull out the sandalwood tree. You're left with all of the root system. Now, everywhere where the roots are still in the ground, where they're being broken, new sandalwood comes up from them. The new trees start. So by pulling one out, you could have 100 small sandalwoods come from that. Right, so now this is what Gary taught them, unless you pull them out, they're not going to actually reforest. So it's at that point when they get sick, then the work starts. Holy Moses, you should see the work that goes into doing this. If you think our sandalwood's expensive, wash your mouth out, poke your eyes out, stick toothpicks in your nose, because it's not right. This stuff should be even more expensive. Because once the tree dies, they then have to take the tree back, cut its branches off, put it into the tumbler, and a tumbler tumbles all these trees until the bark gets taken off. Once it's taken off, then they have to send it down to the pressure cleaner, where they steam clean the whole entire unit. It then gets taken back. Once it's taken back, it's cut into manageable sections, so about double the size of that because it gets off the screen. Pretty, like, manageable sizes. Then they put them in a hydraulic splitter and they split them down the center. Once they've done that, they put it through a chipper. The chipper chips it to about that big. Then they put it through another chipper. It goes to about that big. They put it through another chipper. It goes to about that big. Now, once it gets to that size, they can't distill that because it will just gum up the distillery. So they have to put that through a blower, which extracts the powder, very, very fine powder, which can be used as a face cream. And it's so fine, it's just beautiful on the skin. It's like velvet, the powder. But it's at that point when these sandalwood sticks are about that big. See that? They're about that big now. And they get distilled. Once they get in the still, and they've mapped what the GC is supposed to be of these, and the temperature, the pressure, and the time which they're in the GC. Guess how much oil they get from that? Some of you probably already know. 1%. So they do all of that work and end up with 1% of the Hawaiian sandalwood.
So how many tons, Alan, for a bottle, or how many kilos for a bottle, do you know?
That was asked many times.
Yeah.
And because some of the trees are that fat, some of them are that fat,
yeah,
and the whole lot get done together, there is really difficult way to work it out. But I know that one bottle, it's about that big. It's probably 1.5 litres. I did the sums on that. It's worth about $70,000.
Whoa.
And they had quite a few bottles there.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And now when someone says to you that sandalwood's a bit expensive, they don't know.
I bought it for my dad for Christmas. He was over the moon. It was on point, right? I didn't pay for it, was on the point. So it's what you do.
Yeah.
That's why we love the Central Awards program. Best ever.
So that's the process, basically, of the sandalwood.
What'd you say, Yvonne?
Can we still get sandalwood via ER points? I don't think we can anymore, can we?
I don't know. I did then.
Yeah.
Too questions.
Yeah. My girlfriend cleaned her whole gong with it. It's very sacred in Kundalini to clean your gong with sandalwood. That's a very expensive cleaning.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. Now,
I'd love for anyone else to come on and ask some questions of Alan. We have about 20 minutes left. And, Alan shared with us then a bit about the sandalwood farm and what, his experience as a diamond leader in Young Living is. And I'd like to open the floor a bit more to direct the questions wherever you guys would like it to go, or we can keep listening to Alan because he could talk about Sandalwood Farm forever, couldn't you, Alan? Friggin' awesome.
And the stuff that we were taught and told that while we're over there.
Yeah. So if you go on to Alan on Facebook, you'll be able to see some photos from the farm. He's actually got photos up on there. It's pretty cool.
And I will have a YouTube video soon as well.
Oh, yeah, love it.
The whole process.
Yeah, well, I'm recording this, so I'll make sure, it'll be up on YouTube, you guys. Watch it again. So,
while you're waiting for someone to ask some questions, I do have some interesting figures for the people that may not know about this.
Great.
Young Living has 100,000 square foot in their warehouse in the States.
Yeah.
They've just doubled it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's huge. Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah, I read that.
Guys, you'd be able to fit a jumbo jet in there. Now, do you know how many bottles they filled last year? 113 million bottles. Now, they've got the ability now to multiply that, and I don't know if the figures are exact, but you could be looking at doubling now that they've got the extra square footage of storage. Yeah. That is a lot of bottles. So when you think of all the work that has to go into making this happen in this huge amount, this is why Young Living had that $1 billion profit last year.
Yeah.
Because there are so many oils going out. We are by far the largest essential oil company in the world.
Yeah.
Now, when they distill the oils in all the farms around the world, how do you think they get their oils back to Mona? You'd think they, some remote parts of the world, they put them on a ship, or they put them in taxis, or they put them in something. Well, no, every single one will come back by air, because they need to get it back there fast, and they need to be working with it fast and get it into production. So 1 million pounds of oils were shipped by air from the farms last year. 1 million pounds. That is a lot.
That's heaps. Amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than us talking, does anyone ask a question?
Yeah, Alan, I'd like you to share why, because probably Rah and I know this answer, but maybe others don't, why we're not using Indian sandalwood anymore. It'd be really nice to come from you to share that.
Well, the simple fact is, it's finished. It's extinct. It's gone. No longer allowed to leave the country. That's it in a nutshell. They've been that land was raped and pillaged of sandalwood for years. The sandalwood was so revered as a timber. They could pay thousands and thousands of dollars for just a small piece of sandalwood. If people were caught going across the borders with it, they were shot dead. It was a horrible industry. What was happening with the sandalwood? The government's just stopped it now. It's finished. There's not enough sandalwood left. And that's it. That's why we had to try and find a sustainable form of sandalwood. That's it.
And Alan, can you recap again just quickly why, because some of the others missed it that didn't come before, why aren't we using Australian sandalwood? Because I thought that was a really cool point that you said. I didn't know that. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, when I get this done properly and on YouTube, I'll have the answer to this question as in the name of the compound.
Yeah.
Because it's a certain compound that's in the sandalwood, in the Australian sandalwood, which is, well, they say, everyone that I spoke to said it was toxic. Now, I don't believe, I'm not a scientist in that field, okay, but I just can't see, unless it's a hybrid sandalwood, that a compound within the sandalwood could be actually poisonous. But what I do understand is the compounds in that particular Australian sandalwood is not conducive to healing like the sandalwood that we're used to and the Hawaiian sandalwood. Because Australia has huge farms. Now, they're not distilling sandalwood for the purpose of what Young Living's distilling it for. They're distilling it for perfumes. And the chemistry of perfumes is actually quite toxic. Not quite, it's toxic. It's downright dangerous. Nobody should have anything in there that has a smell unless it's either the actual flower, a fern, or a Young Living oil. And I'm not saying that because I think that you should be buying Young Living oils. No, it's going to keep you safe because we know what it goes through because we've been to all of these farms. We know what Young Living stands for.
Yeah.
There is no other company on earth, zero, nada, nothing, none, that actually does what Young Living does.
Yeah.
For the simple fact, they would actually go broke doing it to half a dozen oils. Young Living can do it because they've got over 250 oils. They've got over 500,000 acres. They've got farms on most of the major continents around the world. They're now working in Peru, Gary is, to try and get more farms. So, one farm looks after another farm. And they're all actually helping each other to survive within Young Living. And when you buy a bottle of Young Living's oils, it means you're supporting a farmer. You're supporting an industry, and often you're supporting a whole entire town or a city or what's smaller than city and bigger than town? A province. like in Simeon, in the south of France, in Provence.
Yeah.
Now, there's an example, which a lot of us are going to in a few weeks.
How long? 4 weeks?
I don't know. I just jump on planes and just go on another plane, another plane, another plane, and just keep going.
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks away. We'll be there. We'll send some pics to you guys.
Yeah. So wanted to come next year.
Seriously, I don't know why we aren't getting off that rocking chair and going in the backyard and doing whatever it takes to find that gold rock. You know, that $1 million gold rock, because that gold is the people of Young Living, which you are actually looking for when you go and do trade shows, when you're talking to your neighbour, when you're trying to get your cousin or your uncle, your auntie connected to understand the value of oils, because all they're doing is spending $150 in their house every month, which they're spending anyway. It's not like they're not spending it, and you just transfer buying. Yeah. It's simple, and your business grows. You've then found one of those little gold blocks,
nuggets.
Well, I think the biggest thing, Alan, is that I love about Young Living is that the products are created for, a result. The oils are specifically created for a result. So you're not with hair shampoo and conditioner. You're not just getting hair shampoo and conditioner that was created. It's actually there to fully support all the hair follicles. Like, just everything about it is there to support the body. So that, in itself, of every product that Young Living has is really amazing.
Yeah. And anyone that's still using shampoos in their house, there's something missing in the consciousness, in the thoughts. If you're using soaps, suds, or Omo, or Earth, or organic something in a bottle to wash your clothing with, or to wash your dishes with, time to change. Time to understand that the chemistry that you're being told is pure is a total fabrication. And I'm not saying that to put down another product. It just is that if I told you that this was a piece of paper, but it's a piece of paper, but I said it was a push bike, that it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah.
So if I tell you that I'm buying this product from the shop that's organic, well, from my world, they're telling me that this piece of paper is a push bike. And I'm not being rude or arrogant saying it's a piece of paper. I just know from the sheer knowledge of the going a little bit deeper to look to see if it is a piece of paper or not, because I'm opening my eyes, opening my mind, opening the pineal gland to see what's real and what's not, and stop just accepting when you read a label that it says this is organic. Not.
Yeah.
Read the ingredients. We're at the Baby Expo this weekend, and they are getting more pure products, but 95% of the whole pavilion were synthetic components in all of their so-called pure products. The thieves is all you need in your house. It's time to get serious. Why do you think we have so many problems with allergies and skin lesions and rashes? Every kid at school has got a rash these days from something. Every kid's allergic to something. Whether it's whatever the reason that kid's got allergic to whatever, we need to just go back in our cupboards and just reverse some of those products that we've got in our cupboards. The only thing you need in your cupboards is thieves. That's it. The thieves cleaning products, the auto ship pack. Just get your people connected on the thieves auto ship pack. There you go. There's the thieves, and I think
I just got the box today. I just got the whole thieves auto ship pack. It was awesome.
That's all people need.
Hand soap, cleaner, toothpaste, sprays, oil. It was the best thing ever.
Why wouldn't someone want a $2,000 income coming in to help them in their houses just by getting people connected on that?
I recommend people buy that on their second month.
I agree.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, because they've got the premium starter kit on the first month, so it gives them a little dabble with oils. Yep. And then if you get them to do that on their second month, they've got all the cleaning stuff all ready to go. Yep. And then you can show them how to dilute that, make it go further. Yep. And they've got a little bit of the oral care in there. They've got a little bit of cleaning care in there. They've got a little bit of hand soap to display if they have a little meeting. I reckon the Thieves Kit's a great way to do their second month.
Yep. Yep.
Now, I do think I need to cover another subject before it gets too late. And that was a subject that was brought up at Diamond Club, which was a very important topic.
Yep.
And that was cinnamon. Do you all remember that cinnamon issue?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. There's new people on, Alan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so
well, it went throughout the world. What they were saying was that Young Living was adulterating a cinnamon oil. Now, if I was to show you, which I had it on the website, all you got to do is type in Chemtech. That's the company that this 22-year-old, which was the one that would put out this letter stating just stuff that was not true. But the whole world just grabbed it and ran with it and went, oh, really? This is not right. How come Young Living can have synthetic things in their cinnamon? What they were doing, they used a company called Chemtech. Chemtech is a petroleum chemical company that has analysis, GC analysis, to measure petrochemicals. And they were using that analysis to analyse Young Living cinnamon. Now, Young Living has the largest database in the world of essential oil compositions and components. There's no argument that Young Living is the largest in the world with this data. The biggest database that ever exists and ever will exist is Young Living has it, because they've been doing it for 30 years. They're the oldest in the world have been doing this and building up information. Things like phosphoterpenes and the monoterpenes and the phenols and the esters and the aldehydes and the carbones and the carvacrols and all of those names, they've got those mapped. And they're all in their GC. So they can marry up any oil to find out what's in it. But if you used a GC with the analysis that has petroleum products in it, the wrong database, this is where they went wrong. And then they were using that database from the petroleum industry to find out if the Young Living's cinnamon was real or not. They were marrying up the wrong map. They were looking at a map of New Zealand and saying, oh, I'm supposed to get to Wellington this way, but that's wrong, but they're looking at a map of Sydney. You get it? They were using the wrong map to read the information. So therefore, they could get any of Young Living's oils, any oil whatsoever, marry it with those synthetic compounds and find out that everything was synthetic. And this is what happened. These guys were all of 23, 22 years of age, and they're now actually being sued for being wrong in what they put out into the public.
So
amazing.
This is really good to see that there's a lot of stuff that you find up on the internet, and it's really wise to talk to your enroller about, the truth and really, connecting with your team leaders like how Alan is, because you really get to see.
Just come up line. Just go to your silvers, your golds, and find out first before people spread things on the internet. Find out the backside of the story, because 9 times out of 10 we already have the story. We already know what's happened, because by the time it gets to everyone else, it can be 6 months old. Like that cinnamon one was 6 months old, because we heard about it 6 months ago, and it only came out about a month ago. Yeah. So we already went through all this. Now there's this new scientist Young Living has called Dr. Mike Book, and he is almost replacing Mark Schroeder. This guy is brilliant. He's witty, he's funny, he's smart, and boy, he knows his stuff. So keep an eye out for Mike Book. He'll be at convention doing some talks over there.
Mike Book?
Book, B-U-C-H.
B-U-C-H.
Yeah, Michael. Just a really amazing guy. Gary calls him God's gift to Young Living at this point, because we need good people. And we have a lot of good people now. That's why we're increasing by 200%. And in America alone, they've got 650 people just in the call center.
Yeah.
That is awesome. They're going to be one of the biggest biggest MLM companies in the world.
Yeah.
So if you want to get on, start teaching people about this, your products will be free. You will get to travel and meet other amazing people all around the world. Get to a diamond club, seriously, and you'll think you're Prince Charles or kids.
Yeah, I can see you think you do.
Oh, man, we were sitting at the pool, right, and this lady walks up to us and she says, "What?
Prince Charles, he's just gross."
Well, who else would you like it to be? You name someone.
I don't know. That's great. So, Alan, tell us about the pool. What were you doing?
We were just sitting there while I was interviewing the other diamond, and this lady walks up and she says, "Could I please have your glasses?" And I go, "The Ray, what's it called? Ray Burns or Ray Bans?"
Oh, Deborah Rayburn.
No. The expensive glasses. What are they called?
Oh, Ray-Bans.
Ray Bans. That's how much I know.
I spend too much time in the bus.
Don't get out much. But we were given these Ray Bans, right? Everyone. And she said, "Oh, could I have your glasses?" So we gave them to her, and she stood there while we were talking, polished the rims, polished all our glasses, and handed them back to us. Like, I've never had that before. I went into the steam room, and they had frozen water as a plunge pool, when the normal temperature over there is like 24 to 25 degrees is their temperature. They froze it to about 5 degrees. Like, this is amazing the way they treated us.
Yeah. But we got 1 minute. Who wants another question? Anyone else? No. I'm going to open the floor for the 1 second. No, we got 1 minute. I wanted to share with you guys. I'll share my screen. I've got, for those of you that are new on here, I know there is a couple of you. This is the premium starter kit, and you'll see it behind me with the aria. I can't do a share of the actual. See if I can make my screen. You can all see that. So that's the aria, and that's the thing that's blowing smoke behind me just there. Pretty cool little machine. So. And the starter kit's awesome. You get a stack load of oil. So just get in touch with whoever invited you to the event, and they can share with you. I know a lot of you who've come on have already got that kit or chosen one with the dewdrop. Just thought I'd recap that at the end of the talk. So that's that. And that's time, guys. So thanks, Alan, for sharing about diamond, what it's like to be a young living diamond, and all those amazing farms that you've gone through. And Bonnie, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to remind people that on Wednesday, just 2 days from now, we have our Gold Coast monthly meeting. So maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm running another one of these on the 30th at a similar time. You can go and check it out up on Love Events. If you don't have the link or you don't know where to find it, just send me a text or ask your enroller to get in touch with me, and I'll send it out to you as an email. So everyone's welcome on, and I really invite you to bring new people on, right? Bring people that have never had or don't know much about the product at all, or are your new members. Tell them to come on and ask their questions. Alan and I and Yvonne could rave on for hours about this stuff. We love it. And I know that some of you guys have been members for a little while could also. So, 45 minutes goes like that. So thank you all for your time. I'm going to stop the recording now. And